Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be making a Pichwai painting. Before that, I hope that you guys enjoyed my last painting series, which was on my journey with scoliosis. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check that out. Today I'm going to be making a large painting for basically a double-heighted wall. It is going to be a Pichwai painting, which is basically a traditional Indian art form. This is my first time doing this, so I'm kind of nervous. However, let's see how it goes. Before I begin, I'm going to be laying a layer of gesso, so that's what I'm going to do right now. I have prepared my gesso. All I'm going to do now is basically use a broad brush to lay vertical strokes of gesso, and then I'm going to sand the surface, which is extremely important to ensure an even surface. Then I'm going to lay horizontal strokes of gesso, and that's it for prepping our canvas. So I've laid the base layer, the first vertical strokes, they're done. When I started sanding it, I really couldn't sand it by myself. I think I do not have the right tools. So basically what I have is this sanding paper, and I think it's not ideal for this entire canvas. I'm gonna skip this sanding bit, but do not miss this sanding bit. So now I'm going to lay horizontal strokes. So the horizontal layer is also done. Now I'm going to let the painting dry and get back to it tomorrow. So currently I'm drawing on the surface of the canvas. I basically researched some reference images for Pichwai paintings to get an idea of what kind of an impression I want on my canvas. So yeah. Hi guys, I quickly wanted to come on here and explain. I recently just completed the sketch, but I got to the sketching bit after 3 long months of having begun. I had gone back to complete my course in Mumbai, designing course, and now I have recently come back. Tapping back into the kind of zone of the painting was quite difficult, but I really convinced myself that all I need to do is start to sketch. That was really true. I really just had to get onto the canvas, begin sketching, and I knew I would probably just get into the zone, and that's what happened. Today I'm going to be laying in under painting and gonna begin with painting, and I'm so excited for it. Even though this painting will not turn out to be the traditional Pichwai art style, but I wanted to kind of be reminiscent of that. So yeah. So I'm done with the underpainting, and now I'm going to decide on what to begin with. I think I'm going to begin want the flowers to like shine, and so I would want to do that at the end. Let's see. I have done a leaf, I mean not completely, but I've at least begun with it, and I will be adding like contrast to the background so it like pops out even more. Right now it looks questionable, but we're gonna do this. Has this ever happened with you? That you started with something that you were extremely motivated to do, but for whatever reason you had to bring it to a pause. You lost the rhythm, the passion, the spark. Getting back to it after months, you fear, overthink, question if it is even worth it. The desire to make a painting is difficult to reignite. However, something that I realize is that no matter what I feel in the beginning, it will all make sense at the end and even during the process. All you need to do is start. It took me a while to realize that productivity should really not depend on my mood. It's through the process that the true magic happens. Hi guys, quick confession. I kind of probably hate is too strong for word. I do not like filming myself when I'm painting. It does not allow me to fully immerse myself in the process and get into the flow. I don't know, what do you guys think? Like, does that happen with you? Not necessarily while painting, but whatever you're doing and probably you're filming yourself. Now, does it make you more conscious? Because it really does make me, if not conscious, it does not allow me to go into that flow state, because you are now focused on two things, getting a good shot and painting. So yeah. This painting is taking longer than I had imagined. I am trying to trust the process, even though I am not really done with a lot. Literally one leaf and the second leaf I just began with. My goal for every day is to at least complete like 3 of the motifs so that I'm completed with the painting sooner. Yeah, let's see how that works out. Overthinking is when our mind creates problems that likely do not even exist. To explain this better, let's talk about the theory of an atom. Now don't worry, this is not a science lesson, but understanding how the world works requires looking at its smallest components. Before quantum physics, people thought an atom was made of a nucleus with smaller particles around it. Atoms seemed solid, but quantum physics revealed that this isn't true. Atoms are mostly empty space. They're energy. Essentially, everything physical around us is made of fields of energy or frequency patterns of information. Bear with me, and I'm gonna explain this in detail in a while. For now, what I'm doing is painting the leaf. The first layer determines the structure and the second focuses more on the colors. So I took into action what I was feeling, which was filming myself during painting, and yesterday the entire day I didn't film myself. It was quite relieving, considering I didn't have the pressure to change the camera angles, constantly stop and start recording. Even though it might feel like little things, they just pile up and become a lot. It really allowed me to just completely focus on the painting, and I really enjoyed that. Even though I do see the importance of filming the process, documenting it for you guys, and then making people understand what goes into making a painting. There's a lot of thought, a lot of intention, a lot of purpose, and it's just not for the sake of it. So yeah. Hi guys, so I quickly wanted to hop in here and share a hack. So while painting with acrylic paints, I don't know if this happens with you guys, but the top layer of the paint dries really quickly. I think that's also because of the climate here. It's very hot and dry. But a quick hack is to store water in these spray bottles and literally just rinse it every 2 minutes or like 5 minutes, and that prevents the paint from drying, and it also does not require for you to dip your paintbrush again and again in water. So it really saves time, and I swear by this.
Getting back to the most interesting part and how it relates to overthinking. The fascinating part is that the quantum experiment showed electrons exist in an infinite array of possibilities in an invisible field of energy. So only when an observer focuses on a specific location does the electron appear. This shows that the mind and matter are connected because our subjective mind can produce measurable changes in the physical world. Therefore, everything in our physical reality is pure potential.
I am quite bored with painting the leaves, so I'm going to be moving on and I'm going to paint the lotuses, especially because they're pink. It's going to be more exciting for me, and
if you can imagine a future event based on your desires, that reality already exists as a possibility in the quantum field, waiting for you to observe it. If your mind can influence the appearance of an electron, it can theoretically influence any possibility. Isn't that absolutely crazy? So, in my case, continuing this painting was only a problem because I quite literally thought so. The quantum field had a reality where I kept overthinking, doubting myself, and possibly giving up, but it also had a reality where I completed my artwork and was proud of it. With focused attention, applying new knowledge, and consistent effort, you can use your mind as the observer to transform quantum particles and organize countless subatomic waves of probability into a desired physical event in your life. You've probably heard the phrases like fake it till you make it and think positively and good things will happen. These sayings capture how high energy vibrations can influence your daily life. I understand if it's a lot to take in. Feel free to listen to this again, and if you want to dive into this even further, I suggest reading the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
it is extremely hot. It is 40 something degrees Celsius, and I literally cannot function without the AC. However, the electricity keeps going, and I am working on the top floor, which makes it even more difficult. So I need to constantly stop when the electricity stops, so it's not fun. However, working on the painting is kind of relaxing, so that's what keeps me going. Let's get back into the lotus there, and I have kind of laid the base there, and I'm gonna paint the final layer on top of it. So yeah.
So as we've seen, overthinking is like an invisible barrier that we create for ourselves. But understanding the principles of quantum physics shows us that we have the power to shape our reality. By focusing our thoughts and energy, we can turn possibilities into our desired outcomes. In my case, instead of succumbing to doubt and overthinking, I chose to visualize the completion of my work. This simple shift in mindset not only helped me finish my painting, but also filled me with a sense of accomplishment. As you pursue your own creative endeavors or any goals in life, remember that your mind is a powerful tool. Visualize your success, stay focused, and be consistent in your efforts. By doing so, you will be able to transform potential into reality. I'd love to hear about your experiences with visualization and positive thinking. Share your stories in the comments below and let's inspire each other to harness the power of our minds. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with my latest videos. Keep creating and believing in your potential.
Hi guys, so that is it for today's video. I am going to be uploading the next part in a few days, but I would love for you guys to subscribe and hit that little bell so that you guys are notified when I upload next. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to check out my scoliosis painting. That painting still remains my favorite and I think that won't change for a very long time. So yeah, see you guys